Hi, I wanted to do a quick walkthrough of my experience with Learndash 3.0, which is a learning management system, an LMS. If you are producing online courses and you need a platform to put them on to sell them or to have them available for students or participants, for me, mainly CPAs and finance professionals, there are different options. And for me, prior to Learndash, which is a WordPress-based option I have been using, another solution which is called Teachable, and there's several vendors out there for online courses, and this is my Teachable site called Sharif Consulting Online, where I have my on-demand courses. And Teachable is basically a one-stop shop. You pay for a membership to use the platform to be able to easily upload videos and set up your courses, your structure, and there's no programming involved. The user interface is pretty easy. There are some things that are slightly challenging, but generally it's very user friendly. And the comparison I would make is Teachable is like an iPhone. It's basically in front of you. You get used to the way the phone works, and you don't have to do much customization. It's all set up and structured for you, which can be good unless you want to do some structure and do some things different than what the software is providing. That brings me to Learndash, which is a software I just added to my WordPress, and WordPress is the back end of my website. So right in front of the screen, you're seeing sharifconsulting.com, my website, and Learndash works with WordPress, so it's integrated with my website. The challenge here is that it requires some more work and more effort because it's using WordPress, and it's not as laid out and not as easy by any means. It's much harder. I should be honest, it's much more work to set up a course in Learndash because you're using WordPress and the functionality in WordPress than it is with Teachable, but the benefits are there for Learndash in that you have more flexibility, more customization, but it takes a lot more time. So just a really quick rundown of what I've been doing and trying to set up these courses using Learndash. So I just picked it up about a month ago onto my website to use as an add-on. So right now I've been working on two courses that I already have on my Teachable on Sharif Consulting Online, just trying to see how they'll work in Learndash. So I'll take you through this one course that I have called Leading Teams to Excellence. So as you can see in the background, there is the WordPress layout. So if you're not familiar or comfortable with WordPress, and I think you have to have more than a basic level, and my WordPress skill set is basic plus, maybe plus, probably basic plus. So it's not advanced by any means, but it's enough that I can navigate WordPress with some comfort knowing how it works, because knowing how WordPress works is really important for Learndash. And right now I'm using a feature of WordPress to lay these courses out in Learndash called I want to say Gutenberg blocks, which it's not Steve Gutenberg. I might be saying that wrong, but there are different layouts you can use to actually build your online course within Learndash. This is one of them that you're seeing right now. So if I go to the builder where I've been building this course, what you'll see are the different modules. Course instructions, leading teams to excellence, to which there is a video, a qualified assessment. This is a NASBA approved nano learning course for US CPAs, and a course evaluation. So this is all the things that I've been building, their settings. So I'm not going to go through a detailed walkthrough of Learndash, but this took a little bit of time. I'll be honest with you. Whereas in Teachable, not as much time. This to set up and build, it took a little bit of time. And I wanted to show you what it looks like for the user who would come to the Learndash site. So not luckily, but with intent, it runs through my website. So you don't have to leave my website to use Learndash, which I think is good for analytics and some other information. But you would click here, log into a role, and here's what the end user would see if they are attempting to take my course. And if we come back to the preview of this within WordPress, I can just preview this and just show you what it kind of looks like if you were a student the entire course. So it's generating the preview in WordPress, and here you have the information that we're going to go through in this course, Leading Teams to Success. So there's information about the learning objectives. There's a lot more information in this course because it's a NASBA course. It's a course that has to be approved by NASBA, so I have a lot more requirements in it. But here, you can take a look at how the course flows. So you have the course instructions, and you can go read those and go to your next lesson. So I did a lot of work to put this together, a lot more work than Teachable, which again is more ready built for you to just put information and your online course onto the platform. But there's some good things with a lot of good things with Learndash. One is cost, and yeah, customization is a big part of this. So here is the video for this course. There's one video, it's called a nano learning course, so it's a 15-minute video, and I'm using Vimeo in the background. So it's the video is not inside my website because that's too large. So Vimeo is running this in the background, and I've had to do some customization to Vimeo to make sure it runs correctly using Learndash. So that's something I don't have to do in Teachable. But again, more customization, potentially more problems, but also more options. And what would happen after you watch the video, the next lesson button would be available. You'd have to watch the entire video. I enforce watching the videos. And then there are qualified assessments. And to me, this is a big plus to Learndash, is that you can really tailor these multiple choices, maybe your end of course quiz, especially for CPD or CPE hours. And this is something you can do a lot more robustly in Learndash than you can Teachable and even Thinkific, I believe. So here's the qualified assessment. To get your certificate, you have to go through these questions and answer them correctly. Again, it's a NASBA approved course, so there's requirements here. But this is a big piece that I like about Learndash that allows me more flexibility in how I run these quizzes, how I can tie them to performance so that you only get your certificate if you hit a certain score with your multiple choice. So that's a real advantage to me and allows me to actually have an easier time to qualify or pass my courses under the NASBA requirements, and it gives me more structure. So overall, Learndash is really, really good. It's taken some time though. So pros: customization. You can do a lot of things in it in terms of really tailoring your front page, your course quizzes, your certificate. But in those options, it takes a lot more time. And something like Teachable, or something where the platform basically helps you build your course, it's a lot quicker. I have to say with Learndash, it is a lot cheaper. I believe it's around $300 for the entire add-on to WordPress, and it does work on your website, which is a bonus. Whereas things like Teachable, Thinkific, a lot more expensive. I believe Teachable is, I don't want to give you the exact price. You should go to their website. I think it's $1,200 US for the year. And you have to, that's an annual subscription every year. So just a quick walkthrough of Learndash. I'm going to give it a thumbs up, and I'm going to use it shortly. I'm going to have to launch it on my website. So I still need to see what the user experience is, because with Teachable, the user experience from feedback that I've gotten has been really positive. Hopefully it'll be the same for Learndash, but that's a learning experience with this software. But so far, so good. Pros and cons, I'll also put it on the LinkedIn post. But yeah. Interesting. For those that are looking for a learning management system, Learndash might be an option, especially if you're using your web pages or using WordPress and you have some comfortability with WordPress.